All right, you guys probably all have to accept that. But we are going to record this. So for our friends who can't be here. So for you that are here, I'm so glad you showed up, and we're so excited to first of all, share our side of recertification and some of our thought process, but we obviously want to hear from you too. So thank you for coming and taking a seat around the table and bringing your voice, because as I always say, and you guys see it in all the things I send out, this is your association. And so we want to make sure that, again, we share our side and we want to hear your side. So I'm going to start off with a couple of things. Number one, I think it's very interesting in our society today that this, sometimes there's these divisive thoughts. And so the first request that I'm going to have is that we come together. There may be some things we say that you see it differently or you disagree with. And there may be some things that you see that we should be doing different, which is fine. And I want you to know from our perspective back to you, we take all of this as very constructive and nothing that says, hey, listen, we're going to the mat for this thing. That's not what this conversation is going to be about. So a very respectful, showing up with a very respectful positioning that we all just want to come up around the table and we all want to be heard, and we want our side to be heard too. So if I can lay that little ground rule out there. And the other thing I'd like to lay out there too, this is an interesting one, and I really want you to feel this one. I don't want any silent disagreements. As I was telling Danielle before everybody got on here, our society also seems to like to take to a keyboard. And that doesn't help. We need to hear from you. Don't have silent disagreements. Don't run and share. Bring it here. That's what this meeting is about. We want to listen to you and hear you. And the last thing that I want to put out here before we move into our session here with a little bit of understanding is, there's a quote that I use, whether it's an IHPC or my own businesses or my own personal life. And the quote is, change is inevitable, growth is optional. Change is inevitable, growth is optional. And for the IHPC, of which I was one of the very original ones years and years ago that got everything started, I can assure you, tons of changes have taken place, not for the sake of change, you guys, but for the sake of keeping us relevant, keeping us future ready, doing what we can do to bring you guys the resources to keep all of us on that path of growth and moving forward. And so tons of things have changed since 2009 when we started this association. And tons of things will continue to change. And maybe what we can do better is we can alert you on some of these things. Maybe we came out the gate a little bit fast and a little bit strong, and we didn't slow the roll a minute and give a little bit of content behind what we did. And for that, I'm going to take responsibility on that one, that I just got excited and I hit send on that darn email. But anyway, we'll take this time to back up and to really answer the questions and let you know where we're coming from and why this is happening. So let's go ahead and launch in. And you guys, whether it's raising your hand so that we can see that you have a question, looks like Heidi's trying to come on right now, raising your hand or taking yourself off mute and saying, hey, I have a question right here. Can you help me out? All good. This is meant to be an exchange, and it's meant to get your questions answered, because I'm going to guess if you have the question, somebody else has the question. So let's make sure it gets out on the table. Okay. Heidi's trying to get on. Looks like she is on. There's Heidi. Hi, Heidi.
Hi.
Hi, girl. So Heidi's on, and she's first up on our agenda after we've kind of laid some ground rules here and kind of set the stage and not rules, maybe just agreements. Rules is a little bit tough. So I'm going to kick it over to Heidi and have her kind of talk a little bit about some of the back process. Oh, I forgot to mention one more thing. This recertification, as well as the certification committee, I'm just going to publicly say it right here. The hours and hours and I don't even want to know how much Diana's put in pulling together all the changes that we've had going on and all that kind of stuff. I don't even want to know how much Heidi's put in and what she's done and everybody on the certification committee. And I just want us all to keep in mind, they're volunteers. They are volunteers taking time out of their day to do this. And for that, I am grateful. It's not a tough job, or it is a tough job. It's not easy. And so for them, grateful. So as we listen to some of these changes and what's happening and why, let's keep in mind it came from a group of volunteers. And I'm just going to put this out here. We're always looking for volunteers. So if you don't like how some of this went, then I'm going to ask you to step up and come up around the table and raise your hand and say, I want to help shape it. I want to help be that person. And so we're always open for that. Always open. Heidi, I'm going to volley it over to you, girl, and let you take it and say,
Awesome.
Here's how you did this.
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad. Sorry about my technical difficulties. Thank you, Danielle, for shepherding me through doing things on a different computer than I do other things. And my camera's like all over the place, so I apologize as well. So with recertification, what we were trying to look at when we were having conversations initially was how to, when we're attracting people to even the beginning of certification, why do they want to do it? What does this give them? And the goal is to give them something that really proves that they are the top of their field. They're top of the league. They have the most current knowledge. They can do this better than, the large percentages of other veterinarians in the industry. And when you look at that, we want to bring a lot of value. Well, there's a lot of other little certifications or programs, and I think they keep coming up. AHA has some courses you can take. There's other little programs. And I think even just in the college industry, you see all these for-profit universities who are, I see all the time, be a veterinary assistant, in 6 weeks. And it's just a training program. So we really need to pull ourselves away from that, one course money. This is just a quick little thing that you did and you got a little piece of paper. We really need to consistently make this program to be on par with, the other things that are similar. I do client experience professionals, which is a business organization. That is something that, again, takes 2 years, takes a lot of work, takes a hard final. It's not just some business online program where I listen to a webinar. So when you look at those things that are of that level, that are almost like a specialty, they are very in-depth education. They do across the board require continuing education, just like us as veterinarians do, other business professionals. So we were not being consistent with certifications of our level. We were very consistent with people below our level, but not with our level of the ability to say that this is the group, we support this group, and this group is at this educational level forever. And you're not going to be. In 5 years, your data, everything in your mind's a little out of date. So you want to keep going. So, I think this gives the ability to support what money we've put into our certification, as well as to support acquiring new people to come in knowing that this is a worthwhile program, because the worst thing we could have happen is this not mean anything. The other thing that was hotly debated is, okay, so if we feel as a committee, we absolutely felt going forward, we needed this. There was thoughts, and I honestly had the thought of, maybe we don't have people before now do it. Do we not have people who graduated? Because that wasn't the deal. When I signed up, it wasn't the deal. I didn't see anything about recertification. However, I think I assumed it would be. Every other certification I did, there's something that you have to keep up. I don't know that it was really the assumption that would never happen. And, I think we all realize that, yeah, that's unfortunate if people didn't have that in their mind. That's unfortunate that this has come out maybe 3 or 4 years after you've done your certification. But the consensus as we went roundtable, and that's where all the confusion came in, roundtable is, all our graduates should be held to the same level. We are never going to make something that is set in stone for the rest of the world and the rest of time. Things definitely excel. As medical professionals, if we say that something we learned in 2017 is good until 2036, that's not anything someone's going to support. So, the consensus was that all graduates should do this. They should be held to the same standards. Otherwise, we are lessening the value of the program. Because we are holding everybody to the same standards and everybody to do this, we were very intentional that this was affordable, not labor intense, that this was not something that was overbearing. This was not $2,000 a year, because some certifications do cost a whole lot of money to keep up. but it brought basic things like even, and we use things that an active certified veterinarian vet tech, these things are going to be things you should be doing anyway. You shouldn't just be doing them to recertified. You should be doing them because you spent money on this certification, and you should be connecting either with the group or taking CE or expanding your knowledge or volunteering. These are all things that should be happening, and it's just a matter of kind of consolidating it so we can really see, like, here's how many of our graduates that continue education, that volunteer, that do different things. Again, to prove your worth, to prove how much you're involved in this kind of subspecialty. So that's kind of the background on how this occurred and what happened. We love probably, and Colleen and Danielle would love to put on every web page, everything's subject to change because life is subject to change. And it's not about being sneaky. It's not about, oh my God, we're going to do this now and make everybody pay $150. It was really let's look at what's going on in the environment. I think when this started, there weren't a ton of certifications. There weren't all these other programs. We were the one who was the gold standard. Now we are, but there's all these other ones who aren't the gold standard, who want to take a little bit of our shine away and look like they're the same thing. And we have to look different. We have to be at that level with the other programs that are similar to this level, because then we're just going to get drowned out by these 1 or 2 day, quick education programs that we all know are not the same.
Right.
So that's my feel.
Beautiful explanation. Let's do this. I want to stop right now. And for all of you that are on here, I want to open it up to questions with what Heidi just said, so we can kind of chunk this thing down a little bit from background to the process. So for everybody on here, anybody have any clarifying questions with the background that Heidi just gave, which I completely applaud. I'm going to keep talking until y'all decide to talk. We have to stay up on the hill. And by staying up on the hill, it's because we've got an education. Things are changing every day within our world of this hospice. And when this association started 12 years ago, it was very innovative. It was very much of a pioneer in it, and we were all pioneers. And this recertification is just one more element of continuing to be pioneers in this space. And we've got to hold that. We've got to uphold that standard.
Colleen, I wanted to add that to follow Heidi's comments, when this was discussed during our committee meetings, and again, I want to reinforce, these are all volunteers that meet once a month for an hour. And every time anything has been considered, there's very open and involved discussion. And this was unanimously something that everyone got behind on the committee. And these are all active practitioners in the trenches with a lot on their plates. And they felt really strongly all the points that Heidi made were all very valid. So I just wanted you to know that this didn't come out of a vacuum and that we didn't get membership input, because all of these committee members are volunteers that raised their hand when we asked for help on the committee.
Yeah, beautiful. All right, Heidi, Danielle, Diane, because I know you're all most intimately involved. Anne's questions. So for us that graduated the program, 2019 is when she graduated. Last I read was recertification was not required, but we're saying today it is.
Correct.
But she will not be required to do recertification until when?
2024.
2024. So it's every 5 years, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, Anne, you're not due until 2024. 5 years from the time you completed.
And it does mean that if you went last year or the year before to the conference, it's those 5 years. So you can take what you did in 2019, 20, 21, 22, and put that into when you apply in 2024. You don't have to decide, oh my God, it's 2022 and I have 2 years to get this stuff in. If you've already done it, it's just, looking back at what date you went to the conference, what date, when you volunteered. So we had a lot of people go, oh my God, I'm due next year. I'm gonna have to run to the conference this year, although you should. I'm sure Colleen said you should anyway.
Yes, you should. Register now.
But it is the 5 over the whole 5 years. So it doesn't have to be, oh, I decided to recertify now. I'm gonna, it is like when you have 2 years to get your CE, and it's anytime in those 2 years.
And as Heidi said, it's things that you're probably already doing. When I read all of this, I kept going back because I thought, am I missing something? Because again, it's things you're already doing. And so we're not asking you to go over and above and do anything, 25 more hours or whatever it is. We're not asking you to do that. It's things you're already doing. And as we look at whether it's the AHPC conference, and we've got there's 10 hours of CE that are in our library right now. There's, Kathy Cooney's always doing courses. Other people are doing courses. There's, lots of really cool stuff out there that I know I've got a certification up on my wall here. And when recertification comes around, which is expensive and a lot of hours, and when that comes around, I look back and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that counts and that counts and that counts and that counts. So it's not as onerous as I believed it was, because I start seeing all these things that truly count towards my recertification hours. Mm-hmm. And that's for us too. There's a lot of things that we can count towards the recertification hours. Okay. Anyone else? Any other clarifying questions so we can get them on the table here? Okay,
so your question, Anne?
Yeah, hopefully that answered.
Or if you have any follow-up to it, you can chat in there and I'll chat with you if you like to.
And so it was kind of a beautiful, and you guys, this chat thing is open, so don't think just wait until we ask for a comment. Go ahead and pop it in there. So beautiful segue though, which is going to volley it over to Danielle now, which says, okay, talk to me about exactly what does the hours look like? How's that going to happen?
Mm-hmm. So just as same as Heidi had said, and you said, Colleen, with the 25 hours. So that's going to be required every 5 years. So not 25 hours per year, 25 hours over 5 years. So literally, if you attended one IHPC conference in 17, you're going to be good for right now. Okay. So keeping in mind with what you all were saying about being volunteers, and I have to recertify too. We all have to recertify. So believe me, it's not going to be a hard, tedious, time-consuming manual process. So as easy and as automated as we can make it is what we tried to do. As far as submitting it and like proving that you have those 25 hours, that'll also just be a simple email, a simple, here's what I did. You'll pay your recertification fee, and I'll manually update your profile on the backside of the community. So you'll still have those credentials, but it'll just say recertified in the year, so that folks that see your credentials in the directory will know what all you've put forth in the certification.
Daniel and I are still working on the filing of that, because my goal, and I think I keep pushing back on Danielle, because I'm like, make it easy, make it easy, make it easy, make it easy. Because listen, at the end of the day, y'all want easy. And let me tell you something else, we want easy. So yeah. It will be very easy. I literally was telling Danielle, have them take a picture of what they've done on their phone and text it to us. That's how easy I want it. So stand by on that, because it will be easy. Oh. We got to stop. We just got a question in here from Marie. I graduated in 2020 and I so much enjoyed and benefited from the 18-month program. Oh, love that, Marie. I really want to continue to excel and refresh myself. Is there an affordable way to redo the 18-month online class at a discounted price, maybe every 5 years? That is a delicious question. Delicious. Heidi, well, maybe we take that back to certification committee.
We definitely will take it in that form. I will tell you, there's a whole stream of knowledge or stream of discussion about making any of the reworked modules available to our current membership, and making individual modules available to membership to use. So absolutely stay tuned. I definitely think the modules that if you would want to retake them, and there will be discounts, absolute discounts for people who have already taken the program. So, we initially were going to take the final again, but as one of the recertifications, that we took that out because it wouldn't be applicable, but definitely redoing some of the modules is something that making those accessible is something we are looking at. So I would definitely stay tuned. I don't know, Danielle, if you have any other information on that.
Well, they are discounted. Some of them are discounted already for graduates on the graduates group, but it's on my agenda to make that group a little prettier, more easily accessible. And this would be a perfect way to do that, 25 hours. I mean, they're all 20, 21 hours. So that right there would be really easy. And you get the most updated information as well.
Yes. And that goes
So-
right into Ann's question. As the program changes year to year, which of course it has, Diane has just gone through a whole revamping and remodel, a whole remodel. Is there a way to find out the new lectures that have been added and then review those towards recertification? I just think those are lovely, lovely suggestions. Love
Mhm.
them. Diane, you're on mute. I know you're trying to say something.
Yeah, I tried to unmute too. So sorry, my mouse is a little slow. Danielle's been really great about updating our website, I believe, to reflect the faculty. At least that's a project that she was working on. And just to give you an idea, to a large extent, the basic curriculum outline is going to remain the same year to year, adding in occasional new topics as there is a new subject that we should be covering or a new maybe angle that we should cover. But the content, I won't say it's all brand new, but obviously when we think about even something as simple as kidney disease and some of the diagnostic tests that we now rely on, 7 years ago when this program was designed and many of the recordings, the initial recordings were recorded, those things didn't exist. Those diagnostic tests didn't exist. So some of the topics might be the same, but there will be new information. So I don't know that from the website you'll be able to tell specifically what's new, but just know that it's going to be up-to-date information based on best practices in all of those areas and disciplines.
Mhm.
But we will work hard. And Danielle's really, this is like one of her babies. She loves this stuff. She will make sure that our website really reflects the curriculum and the faculty.
Yeah.
Well,
And
and I
all those changes are made. They're out there. So if you guys haven't been on the certification page, it is so delicious. You are just going to lose your mind when you get out there. It's so delicious. So get out there and look. It's so cool. But I'm loving this. So Heidi, can I lasso these suggestions here from Marie and Ann and say, hey, listen, our next certification committee meeting is on this day, and we can bring this up and we can have an answer back to you by what day maybe?
Well, I mean, we can definitely say that, and Danielle said that retaking modules is already discounted. Danielle, is that available for purchase right now? So you are actually able to go through at a discounted rate to repurchase a module that you've already taken.
With
Yeah, and
current information, correct? So if they,
If they've been
module 1 and
reworked,
module 3 are
yeah.
different.
With current information. And, maybe what would be helpful is if we sent out, an email blast with some updated instructions on how to get to those modules, just having it more easily accessible to them. And also with what Ann said, as the program changes year to year, I would like to, I take that as an initiative on my part to foster and be more supportive of the graduates to find that information easier. So great
So
suggestions.
we will take
and
both
ideas.
of those away. I think they're going to be things that we can tweak and put in. I think maybe some awareness that the modules have been, all Diane's work have been rebuilt and reworked and remodeled, so that if you did graduate in 2020, they are different modules at this time with the same outline, but newer information. And that's, when we were talking about the requirements, it's 25 credits. That can be one conference. That can be, we were even looking at past virtual conferences, doing the recordings and going through that. It can be retaking our modules. There's CE requirements. We have an ability to get approved outside CE, which we just asked, that it's hospice related, AVMA, all these big conferences do have tracks that are appropriate. Obviously not like elephant medicine or sports medicine, CE, and it's going to be the same as your, state board. You have a copy of what you did, have the dates of what you did, but you're not mailing in all your copies in a certified envelope with a notary. This is an honor system. This is a professional, organization. We are counting on our people to be forthright that when they write they did something, and we're not the police, and we're not going to go, oh, you didn't really reread this. So, there's no benefit to that person or the organization for us to spend the money to go try and find scammers or anything. So it truly is going to be tell us what you did, tell us that, and when we see maybe someone, I'll go to AVMA and do this one course. That's helpful information for our teams to know too, because they, maybe that's someone we invite to the next conference. Maybe that's someone we do have do a module. So, there's a little selfishness of, there's a lot of data out there of what our graduates are doing and how they're keeping active, and we just don't have it all in one place.
Right. And I don't know if y'all know it, but in back in the member side of the website, there is conference recordings from every conference we've ever had. There's pieces out there that are right now CE certified. We've got 10 hours out there that are CE certified, as well as the entire bundle, which is 30 hours from the conference last year. We keep the conference the prior year. That one stays CE certified for 2 years. And then we pick out 10 additional ones that are also out there. But even the ones there that are free, they're all hospice related. So there's a lot of free opportunity too.
Mhm.
I will also put out there that if you want amazing refresh on one of the modules, email me and ask to be a facilitator on Jane Shaw's module, because we take facilitators of past graduates to help the new students. And I think I've accomplished taking it every year since I graduated by doing this. And I love it. And it totally reworks all that communication effort I put in when I first certified. So, that's another way to earn credits and, kind of refresh your education.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Danielle, anything else on submission and hours? I think hopefully we broke that down. Maybe what I can do is go to our attendees here. And do you guys have anything else that may have a question? Oh, I see Anne has one more. I'm currently enrolled in the Chi Institute's TCBM hospice and palliative care course. So that's something, absolutely. It's 45 hours. That's a big one. I know a lot of our members have been through there. Boom, you're done. You're done, Anne.
Mm-hmm.
Check. Got it done. Off the list. Yeah. I hear a lot about that Chi program.
Oh yeah.
Something
A
I
lot
was
of folks do
thinking of,
it.
something I was thinking of today that can help as you look at other conferences and whether or not a lecture that's maybe available at a conference that is an IHPC sponsored is to take a look at the list of our faculty, because if you're questioning whether we would accept that, education that you're getting elsewhere, something we'll be discussing at the committee this coming week or 2 weeks from now is just that, that's going to be one way to feel more confident that outside CE is going to qualify towards your certification.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great comment, Diane.
Good point.
What other questions might you guys have? I feel like between Diane, Danielle, and Heidi and I think we've kind of covered the foundation, and the thing that we're still going to get back with you is the exact process. So just hold on, but know it's going to be easy. I can't even tell you how easy it's going to be because we don't know that yet, but it's going to be easy. So hang on. Any other questions, guys? And I can't tell you how thankful I am. You guys showed up and came up around the table and let us share our side and brought your questions to the forefront as well. Because I'm going to say it again, this is your association, and we just want to make sure that we're doing our part in making our side heard too. So any other questions, you guys? Hopefully these were the nuggets that you came to hear. Hopefully these were the nuggets that maybe kind of quieted your tummy down a little bit, that it wasn't maybe as onerous as maybe what it initially came out as. So hopefully that helped in that manner too, because that certainly wasn't our intent. Heidi and I just got so excited and she crafted something and by golly, I sent it. And then we went, take that back, blah, blah, blah. And it was out there. So we're here to answer anything. No questions, just want to understand the process. Thanks, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you. And we're glad that we got the opportunity to do that. And I'm glad you showed up too and were able to participate. Thanks, Ann. Appreciate you. Appreciate your guys' suggestions with some of these. I'm going to call it an audit process of the new modules. I love that. I don't think they're, in my eyes, certification. And now to Marie and Ann's comments, now we go back and look at the updated stuff. I mean, that to me is the ultimate in the recertification process that says I got all the current stuff, because Diane just, that the programs as they are now, that in her remodel, oh my goodness, powerful. And I know every time Diane pulled another one together, she giggled and she said, this one is powerful, this. And that's the cool thing. That's where we got to continue to be, is keeping things relevant and so fresh and so tomorrow that it keeps you guys there too. And that will always be my goal and promise, is we continue to bring things to you guys that keeps you future ready within your skills and your markets and all that kind of stuff. That's our responsibility to you. Danielle, Heidi, Diane, do you guys have anything else to add?
Just some thank yous for everyone participating today, and great conversation and suggestions. And I'm excited to keep going with this. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks you guys.
Thanks for showing up. Thanks for all the feedback. And like I said, everyone, just let us know how we can help, how we can answer.
Yeah. President Diane, do you have any parting comments?
Oh, just to remind those of you that are still on the call that we always want to hear from you. So this is your organization. And so when you have concerns, bring them up, or not concerns as much as even just positive suggestions, even in terms of things like this with certification. You go to a lecture by somebody and you think it's mind blowing, and you want to share it with all your other certification peeps. Let us know, that kind of stuff. So this is your organization, and we want to make sure we're serving all of you.
Yes, for sure. For sure. All right, everybody, go forth. Happy Friday. And thanks, you guys. Thanks, Marie. We love you too.
That was so sweet.
We love having you with our family. It's an amazing family. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.